Hey guys, welcome back to. I seem to have done something to my script, broken it. Not working. Bad. Original back into it. Back it's working. All right, welcome to the aftermath of Operation called Retribution Orchard. Our Battlemechs are in much the same condition as they were before, with the exception of all of the arm damage and other damage. Side mechs are gone, with the very small exception the Blackjack, who's still missing their arm. Technically, I should be keeping track of repairs for the crab, since it took like 12 points of damage, but that's such a minor amount. I don't really feel like opening up the campaign tracker to track it. That seems ridiculous and pointless, so I'm not going to bother. The allies have also picked up a thing. I'll get that thing eventually. I'll think of it. The thing that they've picked up is a harasser missile platform. Ranging all. So many things. With that harasser missile platform, they're going to have a little bit more capability in battle. For Operation Endosteel Rain, they'll be able to call in that harasser if it's necessary. Giving them a little bit of flexibility, but not much. Speaking of, this is going to be completely spoiled. If you're a player in this game, or if you want to watch the next episode without being spoiled as to who and what the enemy are, you need to stop watching now. Don't care? Well, welcome. Round. Okay, attack roll. Good all. Try this. Kind of work. Now that didn't work at all. My mic is cutting out a bunch. I have no idea why. Changes to it recently. I might just be talking at an angle. That's possible. Also, I was sick. Like really minor food poisoning. You know, food poisoning light. Organize this. Life. Right. So we got harassers, although those are technically some sort of Russian tank of some kind, I guess. Crab. Missing. Blackjack. Griffin. Blackjack, where art thou? Players are going to start on one end of the map, and then up in the hills where combat and actually later on the far side, and Blackjack now. Yeah, I probably copied it a couple. Test this to make sure this is working. Lock all the dice. Check them. Oh fuck. Oh. Rewind time. And you will Finding time. That sucks. Woe is me. Try this again. For some reason locking the bowl is locking everything. Lock the bowl while it's here. Drop the unlocked dice. Wait, I think. Critical dice just repeatedly coming up as 9s. Yeah, that's what it was. All right. Done. My side. Third case. Head and throw up a cloaking feature. Opposition. Dumbwave, how's it going? Alright, our players are engaging in a style of combat called Breakthrough. They will need to either defeat all enemy units or reach the far side of the map. This is going to be a light combat. It's not going to be full, so it's probably going to be 60 to 80% of their combat rating. The primary objective is to wear down our Mechwarriors for the final battle of the McDougal family. So let's set the scene. The players are going to be sent out to intercept that Leopard-class dropship. However, the enemy has already sent forces through merchants on planet, and specifically have an entire company waiting just to defeat this one mech lance, all arranged by the McDougal family. The vehicle lance and the infantry will be blocking the remainder of this light company from descending on them, and the harasser and their mechs will be the only thing available to engage whatever forces come at them. So first, our intrepid team here will be facing some sort of reconnaissance element meant to soften them up. I'm almost certainly going to include an artillery piece here and maybe even a aerospace fighter, because I find aerospace combat interesting. They're super alpha strikey. So aerospace fighters get to carry bombs, and the bombs deal ridiculous amounts of damage, and then it takes a really long time to go reload the bombs. Aerospace fighters are pretty easy to kill and have a lot of time staying on the battlefield because they have to move. Unlike mechs, which can just choose to stay still at the end of their turn, if an aerospace fighter doesn't move far enough, they start dropping out of the sky until they hit the ground. So they have to go at least a certain distance. Pretty interesting system. I'm not sure it's totally accurate, but it's also hilarious. Anyway, let's figure this out. Right. This light reconnaissance element is attempting to slow down our intrepid Mechwarriors as they reverse course and head back to the spaceport under orders by their client, and of course, in their own self-interest, not getting caught in an ambush. However, the ambush has already been set, and they're already in it. The map immediately after this one is going to be the same as the first combat, and it will be against the remaining two members of the McDougal family, a catapult and a centurion. Now, that combat's going to be pretty easy, which is why I need to start breaking mechs here. I mean, a catapult and a centurion, while they can put out a good amount of damage, our players are kind of working together as a team. You could see it a lot better in the last episode. They focused fire a lot, they covered each other, and they were kind of more aware of their options. they've improved a bit over the first episode. Chat has been helping them a lot. The audience has been giving them some tips. So, you know, a Centurion and Catapult, not a huge deal for them. They'll probably just blow right through them unless get hit. So, let's talk about what it takes to get them hit. Their current battle rating is whopping something or other. 1015, 1101, 3769. They have a battle rating of a 4020. Oh, so we already got that there. All right. So I need to construct about a 3000 battle rating enemy force. Let me open up my 3025 TRO or whatever it's called. Might be 3039. Record sheets 3039. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm wanting. Might take a look at master unit list instead. Might be a better plan. Wish I could show what I'm doing here, but of course all this shit is copyright as hell. So copyright. Man. How do tanks play in a Battlemech game? I'm not totally sure because I don't think I did it right last time. They're super inexpensive, but also have ridiculously low amounts of armor. They're kind of just like a murder death bot thing. They're almost all glass cannons. Huh, a hunchback. Now that's an interesting choice. Like it. Back's going to be the first element. That's a medium in the M. Right? Hunchback. Gladiator, Griffin, Hunchback, 4Gs. One with the autocannon. Look and make sure. Hunchback. AC 20. Yep. Like this anymore? Weird. Outside of. There we go. Now it should be back inside. Okay. So these are big ass giant walking cannons that go super short range and just fucking destroy people. That's a hunchback. Not very well armored. I wonder. Nope. I'm gonna pull one up. I put the. I always forget which one has all of the. Nope. This is. Oh, maybe. Maybe indeed. Ever. Hunchback. Nailed it. Gotta size that thing down. That bad boy's way too big of a model. Be about the same size as our mechs on the battlefield. I think super dangerous, but only when it gets in a close range. Fortunately, we're not going to be seeing Timberwolves until the end of the season. I don't want to spoil too much, but I've said several times that the end of the season, the beginning of the clan invasion, specifically, it will almost certainly be facing clan. Steel Viper at a certain place. All right, so now I need an aerospace fighter worth probably 800 or less. I'd be pretty interested in seeing something like that. Banshee, Atlas, Light Strike Fighter. Oh, this is conventional fighters. Fuck that shit. They're so dumb. Aerospace record sheets. Salets, Cheetah, Thrush, Sparrowhawk, Sholagar. Now that's an interesting thought. Let's see here. Sholagar looks pretty dang interesting. Sholagar SL-21L. What's your normal hex by hex from maps? I think the standard map hex for Battletech maps is 16 by 17. Get an object. Object is Shoulgar is page 324. It has a weight of 35. It can hold 5 bombs for every 5 tons. But if it, okay, so if it stores more than a certain number of bombs, I'm gonna have to look this up. Shit. Bombing, page 246. I always forget how this in the butt. Most fighters are equipped with bombs. Each unit can carry 1 bomb for every 5 tons of mass, so it can carry 7 bombs. Every 5 bombs reduces the unit's safe thrust by 1. They can flee from any battle that they want to. However, that's going to turn their campaign score against them. So far, they've won. Well, they've kind of drawn. They withdrew from the first battle, but I counted that as a draw. They won battle number 2. They need to win the majority of battles they take part in, and there's only 4 battles in this campaign, in order for it to be a success. So they need to win both of the next battles in order to... Well, they need to win 1, right? Because then it'd be 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 retreat. They will be overall successful. All right, so it has 7 10 damage bombs. It can release all of them in a massive alpha strike. And bombing is on page 5. All right. I probably have a Shoulgar thing. Not like aerospace. Expand. Player, Samurai, Guardian, Chrome, blah, blah, blah. Shoulgar. No. Oh, it might have that thing where you can change. Yeah, you can go from land. Boom. So whoever made these is good man. All right, so that Shoulgar is going to come in directly behind them after they start engaging whatever mechs we have and whatever we've got at range, and just bomb the shit out of one of their mechs, hitting them over and over again with an intent to destroy. And then it can stick around the combat. It has 4 medium lasers. At 35 tons, that's not a lot of combat damage. It'll probably need to bomb, fire a few times, try to stay behind the enemy so that they can never shoot at it, and then peel off, because aerospace fighters are not cheap, and they definitely don't want to lose them. All right, next up, they get a long tom. Where is the record sheet for that? Is there one on 3039? Might have to go get one of my other record sheets. Starlord. Mobile or long tom artillery. That's what we need. And not the trucked one. Trucked one is dumb. We need the self-propelled gun. Nope, that's too far. Partisan. Mobile long tom artillery. Boom. Ammo carriage. No. Mobile long tom. Perfect. All right. I'm going to place that on the board, but off. I guess that's a weird way to say it, but find an artillery tank. Somebody stuff. Like the Soviets probably have like a cave side better. Whatever the heck that's awful. That these things can fire 30 hexes. Figure it out. 1, 2, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, so it's off screen by like anywhere on the battlefield is got a spotter. We're gonna place a hidden infantry spotter unit on the map, and they are going to be located this hex right here. I'm going to confirm this. I mean, out loud. I'm going to place it here. Hidden inventory, tag spotter on top hill, second left hex. And they are going to be calling down this artillery fire. Currently, tag infantry don't cost that much, battle value wise. Let's see here. Someone wanted a link to Sarna. I mean, I can. Oh no, it's called tag infantry. I think they're all still jump infantry. Tag spotter infantry. Here we go. What do the PC mechs look like right now? I will go drop this over top of the spotter designator. Bloop bloop bloop. Tag spotter designator. Battle value 66. All right. Not bad. Okay, that, and that. Those you can't see. All of the mechs are completely repaired. We have a Panther R, a Crab 20, Wolverine 6R, and the not repaired Blackjack 1DB, missing an arm, for an additional 124 days from the start of the campaign, and 38 in when this battle occurs. So he's got a long time. Long time. All right. Spotters all well and good. Kind of the shitty thing about spotters, hidden units, is that in order to find them, the enemy has to move. Well, in this case, the players will have to move into this hex. I guess I'll give them a chance to make a sensor sweep, attack them, specifically because they are using spotter gear. And let's see, they've got a thing, right? They do have this thing. Tag infantry give a 0 for 1 to 3. Need to know this for the artillery's flash range. A +2 at 4 to 6. And a +4 at 7 to 9. Oh, and I should probably write down what page Long Tom is on. Long Tom. That's not it. Long Tom is on page 1. All right. So the Hunchback was like 1,000 something. The Aerospace Fighter is like an 800. Still have 1,200 kicking around. Minus 100 for the spotter infantry, which means got 1,100. Probably going to want some sort of mech that can battle fight them. Oh shit, the Long Tom is 515. All right, so I only have 600 to play around with. The last mech's probably going to be a low-end medium or a high-end light. How long does Long Tom artillery take to arrive? Is it that turn or is it an extra turn? Let me just go check the index real quick. Find the index. Artillery. Oh man, it's pinging artillery so many times. All right, I guess it just happens on the same turn. I always thought artillery took a turn to arrive. I'll probably do that. I don't know if that's like an actual rule, but I'm probably going to have the artillery take a turn to arrive because I know that it splashes. It hits the you have to roll to see whether it hits the main hex, and then it hits all the hexes around. For 25 damage, that's pretty nice. Oh, maybe it's actually in The other book, not strategic, tactical operations. Yep, tactical operations. Okay, let's look for Long Tom. It's gonna take a while. 426 pages, and it's doing it like 10 at a time. Oh, here we go. Zoom in. Area effect weapons. Boom. Damage from area effects such as artillery may affect blah, 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 blah. A long tom shell lands in hex B, 20 points of damage. Ugh. Nope, that's not it. That's not it either. Artillery sequence. Artillery can blah, 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 blah. Like LRMs, artillery may be fired directly or indirectly. However, artillery is most effective when fired indirectly. These rules approach artillery differently. Rules for firing, blah, blah, blah. Any unit more than 17 hexes away from the target is considered indirect. If the attacker is 17 hexes or closer, use direct fire artillery. Area effect weapon. Blah, blah, blah. Artillery not directly on the play area. Prior to placing their units, may assign artillery. Perfect, that's what I'm doing. Determine the relative direction. Blah, blah, blah. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Designated specific locations for their artillery is important because hit locations of many units are determined by the direction where artillery arrives. Players must also express their distance from 500. Players may place units further back than that. Blah, 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 blah. Artillery and rolling maps. Nope, not doing that. Artillery unit place. Blah, blah, blah. I don't need to do rolling maps. Targeting. During the targeting phase of turn, a player wishing to make an indirect artillery attack may select and record the map hex numbers he wishes the artillery to fire on that turn. Indirect artillery fire can only be directed at hexes, not targets. May direct artillery fire at hexes not under direct observation. However, the fire is not adjusted. Okay. Artillery modifier table. Adjusting fire for each previous shot fired at the target hex by the artillery unit. Indirect artillery fire. Each artillery unit the player controls may target a different hex. Something, something, something. The turn in which the shell lands equals the current turn plus the shell's flight time as seen on page 181. All right, well, let's go to page 181. Artillery spotter. Spotters can improve the accuracy if the target hex is in line of sight of a friendly unit. Same unit has blah, 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 blah. Going on the modifier. The player manning the artillery unit may attempt to adjust fire to home in on the target hex by noting how far off target they were. Okay, long time is 30. Indirect flight times. Distance from the battlefield and map sheets. Oh, it's, let's see. It's less than one map sheet. So it will arrive on the same turn. Oh, no. So it will take one turn to arrive. All right. Less than one is for when you are on the battlefield. Okay. We're good then. One turn to arrive, and then it's going to splash the square for 25 or something. Reduce the damage by 10 for each extra hex of distance between the target hex and the affected unit. So it's going to be 25, 15, and 5. All right. That's fucking vicious. We could stop units from walking. That would be great. All right. So we've got Hunchback, blah, blah, blah. Now we need a 600-point mech. Hold our players in place. 100 points is like, ooh, super light. Ooh, Firestarter costs way too much. Urban mech sucks. Like a 600-point actual good mech. Ooh, Jenner would be a little bit too heavy. Jenner A actually kind of sucks. Yeah, let's do that again. I'm sure I have a Jenner. Did have a hunch. Here we go. All right. All right, and these will be our recon forces plugging away. The Jenner will, let's see here. The Hunchback's almost certainly going to move to hold the bridge, right? At the bridge, it'll have this thing in the way. It'll be pretty good at blocking long-range fire for the Hunchback. The Hunchback can hold this, keep people from crossing the bridge. The Jenner can kind of stay backfield and like cover the Hunchback. Really just looking to plink away at damage. Let the artillery and the aerospace unit do the work. Now, I saw people were saying stuff in chat, so let's get back there. Yep, all correct somewhere. All right. Yeah, sorry guys that are trying to link stuff. This channel, the Twitch channel, is super tight on not letting people link. Because we used to have some trolls run through and post some truly terrible stuff. Light Max, Regener, A. Go. Drop. Just outside of... That didn't work at all. Boom. Good enough. I think we're set now. I have to walk that Hunchback, though. I definitely don't want to run roads. One thing we haven't talked about is how you can skid if you have a mech that runs and attempts to make a turn on a road like this right here. The mech can skid. It's going to be a problem for the players for sure with this specific road thing. And I'm doing this intentionally because I want to give that artillery time to fuck the enemy up in case the player. I really don't feel like I'm going to have a chance of defeating the players with this. And again, that's intentional. The aerospace fighter might knock out one of the bigger mechs. So I might split its bombs. So it's got 7 bombs. I might split it up into 3 and 4 just to scare the shit out of them. But most of this fight's just going to be about knocking armor off rather than defeat. The big finale is going to be showdown with Toast and what was their name? Loaf and Toast, the 2 members of McDougal family. Does Battletech have mines for fighting mechs? Yes, it does. I don't know the rules for mines, but there is a specific type of missile called a Thunder LRM that allows you to launch minefields manually onto the battlefield. Mechs can equip them and just like drop minefields all around themselves. It's actually pretty hilarious. All right, this was the prep for Operation Endosteel Rain. That's it. Thanks for coming out. We'll find somebody else for y'all to watch, and hopefully this helps. I'll send 2 wasps. Yeah, no thanks.